Welcome to Arsenal Report, your daily source for all things Arsenal FC. From match updates and transfer talk to behind-the-scenes stories, we've got it all. If you're a true gunner, this is your home. Hit subscribe and join the pride. Victory through harmony. Let's get started. When Mikel Arteta made the bold call to drop fan favourite Aaron Ramsdale for David Raya, many thought he was risking more than just results. He was toying with team chemistry and fan loyalty. But fast forward a season, and that gamble is looking like a stroke of genius. With Raya now standing tall as one of the Premier League's top shot stoppers, Arsenal's decision is earning high praise, including from pundits like Jamie Carragher, who nearly named the Spaniard the league's best. In a club that craves silverware, could this be the turning point Arteta needed? Mikel Arteta has been lauded by Jamie Carragher for having the courage to replace Aaron Ramsdale with David Raya, following another stellar season for the Arsenal goalkeeper. More than a few eyebrows were raised when Raya, 29, was signed on loan from Brentford in the summer of 2023 to compete with Ramsdale, who was viewed as the Gunners' undisputed first-choice keeper. But the Spaniard promptly leapfrogged Ramsdale in the pecking order and has gone from strength to strength in an Arsenal shirt. With Raya establishing himself both as a colossal figure in Arsenal's rearguard and one of the Premier League's top goalkeepers, the furore over Arteta's controversial decision has mostly been forgotten. I picked Alisson as the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season, but I was very close to picking David Raya, Carragher said on the overlap. Alisson had that performance against PSG, and that was one of the best we've seen from a goalkeeper, so maybe that stuck in my head. But Raya probably had 5 or 6 world-class saves this season. There was one against Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins, but it was that long ago that it feels like last season. That was one of the best decisions Mikel Arteta made. It was brave because Aaron Ramsdale was a bit of a fan's favourite, but Arsenal were never going to win anything big with him in goal. They haven't done that with Raya yet either, by the way, but it was a good decision. While Raya has established himself as the club's number one with Ramsdale since moving on, Arteta is keen to acquire more competition for the Spain international ahead of the 2025-26 campaign, with Espanyol's Joan Garcia once again on his radar. Arsenal pursued a deal for the 24-year-old last summer in their search for a Ramsdale replacement. But they will try for his signature again in the upcoming transfer window, with the star now likely to leave Espanyol. Champions League football, secured, second place, all but wrapped up. But Mikel Arteta isn't popping the champagne just yet. After a gritty 1-0 win over Newcastle, powered by another Declan Rice rocket, the Arsenal boss made it crystal clear. It's time for the board to step up. With a reported £58.9 million deal for Victor Gyökeres nearing completion and rivals Manchester United snatching up Matheus Cunha, the Gunners' summer business is heating up fast. And co-chairman Josh Kroenke? He's promising serious investment. So, is this finally Arsenal's moment to go all in for the title? Second place all but confirmed, Champions League football secured, 1 game left to play. That's where Arsenal stand as the end of the 2024-25 Premier League season looms. The Gunners booked their ticket to Europe's elite competition for the 3rd year in a row on Sunday by beating Newcastle 1-0 in a hard-fought affair at the Emirates. Declan Rice's pile-driver made the difference, fitting after his heroics against Real Madrid in this season's Champions League. Now Mikel Arteta has sent a clear message to the club's hierarchy, including new sporting director Andrea Berta. Finish the season, go to the beach, enjoy a few days, and make sure the ones upstairs they do what they have to do, Arteta told Sky Sports after Sunday's win. The Gunners' boss has made no bones about needing to improve, despite defending his current players' efforts this term. Arsenal's early pursuit of Martin Zubimendi was a signal or their intent, but it's their ongoing search for a striker which will no doubt be the story of their summer. Arsenal have agreed a £58.9 million deal with Sporting Lisbon to sign Victor Gyökeres, a Bombshell report in Portugal has claimed. The Gunners recently placed Swedish striker Gyökeres at the top of their striker wish list, and significant progress appears to have been made. On Monday, Portuguese newspaper O Jogo claimed that the 26-year-old is on his way to Arsenal. Personal terms still need to be agreed, but the report insists that Gyökeres' switch to North London is only a matter of time after he lifted the Primera Liga title on Saturday. Manchester United are closing in on a deal for Arsenal target Matheus Cunha. The Gunners were strongly linked with a move for Cunha, 25, in the January transfer window before he signed a new deal with Wolves. His commitment hasn't lasted long, as a report from Italy states that the Brazilian is on the verge of joining United. It was recently claimed elsewhere that Arsenal tried to hijack Cunha's £62.5 million move to Old Trafford, but the Wolves forward has his heart set on linking up with Ruben Amorim, despite the prospect of not playing European football next season. Arsenal co-chairman Josh Kroenke lifted the lid on their summer transfer plans in his programme notes for the Newcastle game. The Gunners' chief delivered the news that all Arsenal fans wanted to hear going into what's set to be another huge summer. "We plan to invest to get behind winning and doing better next season," Kroenke wrote. "We're delighted we have our sporting director, Andrea, who will play an important role in this. He is part of a unified and strong team, supported by the board, who are crystal clear on exactly what we need to do and the way in which we want to do it. The right way, the Arsenal way, the Arsenal. I wish we had Bruno Fernandes at Arsenal. That's the big claim from Gunners legend Ian Wright, and it's already caused sparks to fly." On the Stick to Football podcast, Wright praised the Manchester United skipper for carrying his team through a turbulent season, even defending him from another classic Roy Keane rant. While Fernandes has racked up a stunning 19 goals and 19 assists, Arsenal's own midfield talisman, Martin Odegaard, has struggled to hit last season's heights. But could Bruno ever wear red in North London? And would United ever sell to a Premier League rival? With Real Madrid sniffing around and Arsenal chasing trophies, it's a fantasy that's not so far-fetched, at least not for Wrighty. Let's dive into this transfer daydream, Roy Keane's brutal response, and what this means for Arsenal's midfield puzzle. Ian Wright has admitted that he would love to have Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes at Arsenal. Fernandes, 30, has been wearing the armband for the Red Devils in a campaign which has been terrible domestically, but still offers the opportunity for European silverware. While United could still gain qualification for the Champions League by beating Tottenham Hotspur in the Europa League final, Arsenal will have to accept another campaign without a major trophy. With the season ending soon, attention is turning to the transfer window, where Arsenal are on the verge of signing Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi, with a move for Sporting CP striker Victor Gyökeres also potentially on the cards. However, Wright, who has previously defended Fernandes from a Roy Keane onslaught, would be over the moon to see his former side turn their attention to the Portugal international. While speaking on the Stick to Football podcast, Wright said, "I wish we had Bruno Fernandes. I wish we had Bruno. I would love to have him at Arsenal." The ex-Gunner striker has repeatedly defended the United skipper when Keane has unleashed him. After Wright's latest defence on the podcast last month, the ex-United skipper said, Righty, I've had enough of that rubbish. You watch United every week. We focus more on United. Sit and watch a game with him. People pretend to be closing people down. Talent is not enough. You keep going back to talent. Bruno's a talented player, but it's not enough. Who were you in the dressing room with, Tony Adams? Tony Adams was this. Tony Adams was that, because he was a fighter. You've got young players who have to look at somebody and go, I like what he does. They all can't put the ball in the top of the net from 25 yards, I get that. But you want someone who's going, lads, are you with me? Are you with me? Wright told Keane that comparing modern captains like Fernandes to the likes of Adams is unhelpful, saying, maybe he's not that kind of captain, Roy, I'm with you, but what he's doing in respect of saving you, playing that pass, the goal. If Bruno's not there, United are in the relegation battle. Despite Wright's admiration of Fernandes, it's unlikely the Gunners would target a move for him. Arteta already has club captain Martin Odegaard in Fernandes' position, while Declan Rice is being encouraged to maraud forward more often. Zubimendi's potential arrival would only encourage the aforementioned duo to occupy more forward positions, while Kai Havertz may also be given more opportunities to play behind a striker should the Gunners sign a centre-forward like Gyökeres. Moreover, the chances of United doing business with Arsenal for a player as important as Fernandes are also highly unlikely. The silky playmaker's deal expires in the summer of 2027. but there appears to be no sign that he is agitating for a move out of Old Trafford. However, reports from the Daily Star at the end of March claimed Real Madrid were interested in the midfielder and were considering a shock £90 million move. If United lose the final in Bilbao on Wednesday, then Fernandes, who has been at the club since January 2020, will have to face up the reality of another season without Champions League football, despite his undoubted quality. While the season has been a poor one for United, he has still contributed 19 goals and 19 assists in all competitions. The ex-Sporting midfielder's numbers are far superior to Odegaard's, who has struggled to replicate his performances from the 2023-24 campaign. The Norwegian has only managed 5 goals and 11 assists compared to last year's record of 11 goals and 12 assists.